Hey, what's going on? Happy Sabbath, Shalom. Today is, I believe, I don't know what date it is. It's July. All right, it's gonna be July the 6th, 2019. Thanks for joining the broadcast, podcast, YouTube, the station, whatever you want to call it. All right. This is Conquer the World Ministries. All right. So thanks for being here on this Sabbath. We're going to be continuing to go over the books of Proverbs. All right. We're going to start in Proverbs chapter 12. All right. Just going to read it, give you some commentary, break it down real quick, man. It says in verse 12, it says, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but one who hates correction is stupid. All right. Listen, man, sometimes if God really loves you, man, you're going to be corrected. Just like our parents correct us when we're wrong. They correct us not to punish us, but to show us the right way. So those who hate correction from God are stupid, because correction is trying to save them from even greater mishap. All right, so they're stupid in the eyes of God. It says, one who is good obtains favor for the Lord, but but God condemns a person who schemes. It says, no one can be made secure by wickedness, by the root of the righteous and immovable. What's your life built on? What is the root of your life? Is your life built on righteousness or wickedness? And you know what? If your life is not built on righteousness but wickedness, even if you have some success, it's going to be fleeting. It'll be taken away from you. The only thing that you can rest surely on 100%, 150%, all right, that's going to come through every time, all right, is going to be Yeshua, all right, Jesus Christ. All right. It goes on to say, this is a good one. It says, a wife of noble character is a husband's crown, but a wife who causes shame is like rottenness to his bones. All right. I've been through this, man. I've been in some bad relationships with some wrong women. All right. And I paid the price for it. All right. In the commentary, it says basically rottenness in the bones applies lots of joy and strength in your life. And I really went through that. I went through times of depression. All right. Wasn't happy, felt weak, susceptible to temptations from the enemy. All right. Because I was with a woman who I was operating with, wasn't married, but operating with as if that was my wife, even though she wasn't. I was unequally yoked, and I got tore down. It says the thoughts of the righteous are just, but guidance from the wicked is deceitful. All right. Deceitful people are all right. They'll give you. You got to watch who you get your guidance from. All right. It says the words of the wicked are a deadly ambush, but the speech of the upright rescue them. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get good counsel. All right. The counsel that wicked people give you is setting you up for failure. But someone who's upright and righteous, the advice they give you will set you up for success. It seems that so many times people don't want success; they want failure. It says the wicked are overthrown and perish, but the house of the righteous shall stand. All right. It says a man is praised for his insight, but a twisted mind is despised. All right. Better be despised by God. It may seem in this world that a twisted mind is celebrated, but in God's eyes it's despised. It says better to be disregarded yet have a servant than act important but have no food. Man, this is crazy, because especially with social media, man, you got people on social media, and it's very easy to create a social media lifestyle where you balling out of control and you got all this money and you're going, you're living this lifestyle. But a lot of these times, these folks is up there faking and fronting, and they ain't got nothing. It's better just to be humble, all right, and have people not really give you the props that maybe you do deserve, but to have a servant, which, basically in order in biblical times to have a servant, you had to have a certain modesty. If you had a pretty good income, I'd say, maybe working class, or maybe probably like middle class. I say middle class income at the minimum, all right, in order to have a servant. So it's better to be disregarded. You may not have all the followers on social media, but to have money, all right, and be financially secure. That's much more, that's such a smarter thing, and a more valuable thing, just to be a clout chaser. It says the righteous care about his animal's health, but even the merciful acts of the wicked are cruel. All right, it says it's crazy what an evil person thinks is giving mercy is still cruel and evil, because people think that they're doing good for you. All right, I've had people who were using me and doing me dirty the whole time, and then when I separated from them, they're like, oh, I did so much for you. It's like, man, the stuff that you thought you did for me really wasn't nothing. But you're so corrupt that you think that even the stuff that you think is good is corrupt. All right. It says, the one who works his land will have plenty of food, but whoever chases fantasies lacks sense. All right. Man, you got to work, man. People feel like, I'm waiting for my opportunity. I'm going to be a basketball NBA player, so I'm not going to work. I'm going to be a movie star, and I don't have to work. And all these type of things, chasing fantasies. And not to say that you can't achieve those things. I'm not saying that it's unachievable. But what I'm saying is that you still got to work, all right? If you don't work your land, you ain't going to eat. You know what I mean? We live in a welfare society that's designed to go against things of God. So it's designed to try to get you from working and still feed you anyway, which creates a dependency on the system. And you've made the system be the God of your life, all right? It says, the wicked desire what evil people have caught, but the root of righteousness is productive. All right, the roots of righteousness is productive. By rebellious speech, an evil person is trapped, but a righteous person escapes from all trouble. Again, the message here is that evil people who try to trap the innocent are usually caught in their own trap. You know what I mean? I have so many times where people try to get me caught up in stuff, and they fell into their own trap. It says, a person will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the works of a person's hands will reward him. It says, a fool's way is right in his own eyes, but whoever listens to counsel is wise. Man, so many people, man, they think they got it going on. And even though if you look at their life, you can see that obviously your mindset has led to failure, they still think that they know everything, but they refuse to listen to counsel. It says, the fool's displeasure is known at once, but whoever ignores an insult is sensible. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's saying just have self-control when dealing with people, things. You don't got to go wild out every single time. I used to struggle with kind of self-control because I would let, people get me upset and do certain things. And I'd be reactive. Excuse me, contact bothering me. I would be reactive, but let's be proactive. And one of the proactive ways, I don't no longer get myself in situations, relationships, on close proximity of fools. Because, Jay-Z says that you don't argue with a fool because you can't tell from far away who is who. So therefore, I stay far away from fools so we don't have to get into an argument. Because ultimately, what happens is when you get around certain people, their spirits are so jacked up that inevitably you're going to get yourself involved with something with them. So just be proactive and not reactive and exhibit self-control. All right? It says, whoever speaks the truth declares what is right, but a false witness speaks deceit. All right. This is courtroom terminology. The person who speaks the truth is opposite of false witness, who has first-hand knowledge of other lies. To declare what is right is to provide the necessary information for a correct verdict, which literally could save the life of an innocent person. All right. So it's important that what comes out of our mouths is truthful. We're not lying on people, trying to get people caught up in things that they don't deserve. It says, one who speaks rashly like a piercing sword, but the tongue of the wise bring healing. You know what I'm saying? Speaking rashly without thinking involves either saying something inconsiderate or making reckless vows. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get mad and we say things that we don't mean, and it could be hurtful for people and hurtful for relationships. So again, we're admonished to show self-control there. It says, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue only for a minute. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but those who promote peace have joy. Listen, man, that you can have joy in your life just by living in peace. There's some folks that always want to be in conflict with people. They ain't got no joy or peace in their life. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay away from people who cause strife and promote peace. And you'll have joy in your heart. It says, no disaster overcomes no disaster overcomes the righteous, but the wicked are full of misery. Man, it's like every day, man, those who are wicked, their lives are just miserable. You just look at their lives, they just can't do the things, that they want to do. Their life is just miserable, and it's because they're wicked. They make wicked choices, and therefore their life is what it is. It's horrible. But ultimately, it's they're sowing what they reap. All right. It says, lying lips are detestable to the Lord, but faithful people are his delight. A shrewd person concerns knowledge, but a foolish heart publicizes stupidity. All right. And then people out here talking about a whole bunch of foolishness, all right? But someone that's smart, they can steal what they know. They don't always speak on everything or to everybody. They're very smart and led by the Spirit in terms of what they say, what they're talking about, and how they're talking about it and when. It says, diligent hand will rule, but laziness will lead to forced labor. Well, when you're lazy, right, you'll be led to forced labor. What does that mean? All right. Let's kind of get into a prophetic. I believe a time's coming that the system is going to crash, and those who are not cannot take care of themselves, those who have been lazy for years, single moms, addicted, on welfare, 4, 5, 6 kids, brothers running the street, living off women, not working. They're going to be put into forced labor, all right? They're going to be put in some type of slavery. Also, another way that you think about it is that, when you're lazy, you got a whole bunch of idle time to get yourself caught up in a whole bunch of foolishness. Or if you're lazy, you don't want work, you may sell drugs or hustle other illegal items to try to make money, and you end up in prison. Then you're into forced labor by being in prison. It's another way to think about it, all right? It says, an anxiety weighs down a person's heart, but a good word cheers it up, all right? Yeshua, Jesus tells us to be anxious about nothing, not to worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, where you're going to live, because he's taking care of all that, all right? And that's a good word, and that good word can help anyone who's dealing with anxiety, man, to know that God will take care of them. So the righteous person is careful dealing with his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked lead them astray. All right? You gotta be careful about how you deal with those folks in your life. You may not want to you want to do some research before you get yourself involved with people. All right, and you don't want to get yourself caught up in dealing with people who are wicked. And the only way you do that is by being smart and discerning. It says a lazy hunter doesn't roast his game, but to a diligent person, his wealth is precious. That's being a good steward of your money. Basically the lazy hunter has failed to put in the time to obtain many game, but a diligent person has obtained precious wealth. You know what I mean? This probably, kind of means that a lazy person does not finish what he started and goes to waste. But a diligent man takes the blessings as God's given them and maximizes them. Everybody has been given certain gifts that God has intended for you to maximize for financial means, for being able to live your life, to provide for yourself and your family. It needs to be protected. You need to be a good steward of all the blessings that God has given you. So there's life in the path of righteousness. In its path there is no death. All right, you know what I'm saying? Get on the narrow path to immortality. All right, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about living forever under God, with Yeshua the Christ, our heavenly priest who stood before God to make amends for our sin with his blood that was shed on the cross. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, Yeshua the Christ, it's an easy thing to do. And in order to get back in good relationship with the Most High, the person who created you, the person who controls everything, you need to be a new creature through the blood of Christ, which means you need to just pray and say, God, I've done this, I've done that. I know it's against your way. I'm no longer going to live like that. I want to follow Christ's way. I want to follow the way of your perfected Son and follow his example of how he lived. And then if you change your life and live according to that life, you'll be entered in back into the kingdom of heaven. All right. So I hope that you do this today, that you pray and repent, because time is short. Thanks for tuning in today. Please hit the subscribe button. All right, at the bottom of this, at the end of this video, please subscribe. Conquer the World Ministries. All right, if you feel led to support this ministry financially, we're going to be getting some more equipment, some better videos, so we can do, better laptops, so I can really deliver this word. I feel like God's calling me more and more, especially as time's coming to an end, to get more vocal and do more videos. All right, so there's going to be a whole bunch of videos coming. They're going to be better and better every time. So if you do feel led, all right, I will leave my email information and my contact information in the comments, and you can reach out to us. All right, God bless. Yo, all right, this is Conquer the World Ministries. This is Brother Paris, man. Thanks for joining us this morning. Today's the Sabbath. All right, it is Saturday. July the 6th, 2019. We're in Proverbs 13. All right, we're going to break this down for you real quick. It says, a wise son responds to his father's discipline, but a mocker doesn't listen to rebuke. From the fruit of his mouth, an person enjoys good things, but treacherous people have a spirit of violence. The one who guards his spirit protects his life. The one who opens up his spirit invites his own ruin. All right. So listen, man. If you protect, God says protect your heart, protect your spirit. All right. And if you don't, you invite all types of ruin and craziness in your mouth. And if you go back to the second verse, really when it says from the fruit of his mouth, from the fruit of his spirit, a person will enjoy good things, but treacherous people have a spirit for violence. It says the slacker craves yet has nothing, but the diligent is fully satisfied. You gotta be a go-getter, man. You can't be sitting around waiting for life to bring you what you're looking for. You got to go get it. The Bible says you gotta ask, seek, and knock. So you ask God for a blessing, you go seek it out. When you find it, you knock on the door, and then that door opens up for you to walk through. All right. It says the righteous hate lying, but the wicked bring disgust and shame. Righteousness guards people's integrity, but wickedness undermines the sinner. All right. You'll be undermined by wickedness. All right. Overturned. You'll be frustrated and subverted and brought to ruin by your wickedness in your life. All right. By the sin in your life. So in chapter 7, just like we talked about in Proverbs 12, talking about one person pretends to be rich but has nothing, but another pretends to be poor but it has abundant wealth. All right. Listen, man. Have you ever heard the saying that rich people are not showy? So people with a lot of money, for a lot of, well, I didn't say all, but a lot of people with a lot of money, they dress real casual, real modest. They don't brag. You don't see pictures of their money on Instagram or all the stuff that they got. But, there's a lot of folks, especially in the black community, who try to put on a fake in the front. Because we're so money and materialism driven, they pretend to be rich but don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these rappers be renting their jewelry, renting their cars out. You know what I'm saying? That's not really their cars. That's not really their jewelry. But they rent all this stuff out for a video to portray an image. And then you find out, like, if something happens, they die or something happens, and they ain't got no money. Like, how you doing all this and making all these records and doing all this craziness, but you ain't got no money? All right? But that's what happens. When you do a deal with the devil, it never turns out good. It says riches are a ransom for a person's life, but a poor person hears no threat. All right, you know what I'm saying? Money and riches can be manipulative. It says no one should trust in riches, and you cannot buy eternal life. However, it's an accurate observation that a rich man can pay a ransom to save his life. A poor person really don't have to worry about a ransom because no robber would typically bother him. So like Biggie Smalls says, more money, more problems. The more money you got, the more problems you got, the more people are trying to take advantage of you. If you live a modest life and you ain't got a lot of times people ain't trying to get over on you. All right. It says the light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is put out. Arrogance leads to nothing but strife, but wisdom is gained by those who take advice. All right. If you're arrogant, you know what I mean? A person, if you think you know it all right, and you're arrogant before God, you're gonna have beef with God. But those who are wise take advice from others who are wise. It says, wealth obtained by fraud will dwindle, but whoever earns it through labor will multiply it. So I know people that try to do identity, that stole money because their mama died and they had a whole bunch of younger siblings and they were given basically control of all the money that was left, and then they spent it all. So then they try to get money by doing credit card schemes and all this other stuff. And then all that money goes away and end up getting caught up with the law and all that. And listen, man, trying to get fast money in a dirty way is going to lead to a negative result. It says, hope delayed makes the heart sick, but desire fulfills the tree of life, man. All right. You got to put your hope in God. If you put hope in yourself, things may not go according to your time. You either get frustrated or lose hope. All right. But my desires for God, my desires for will is for his will. So that, it's a tree of life. When you change your perspective, it's all about your mindset. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about your thinking. All right. It's all about how you think. The Proverbs is all talking about how you think, and how you think is how you'll be. It says the one who has contempt for instruction will pay the penalty, but who respects the command will be rewarded. Listen, man, if you want them people that nobody can tell you nothing, all right, you think you know everything, you will pay the reward. You will pay the consequences of your arrogance. All right. Man, be humble. Look at your life. If you ain't really never accomplished nothing like that, if you ain't never did nothing, stop running around acting like you do and take some wise counsel from someone who has been successful. All right? That don't even make no sense. It says, wise person instructions of found life, turning away people from the snares of death. Good sense wins favor, but the way of the treacherous never changes. Man, listen. If you got good sense and you're wise, things will go your way. But the way of the treacherous, you never. Some people never change. You know, we expect people to change, but some people are oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the name, but some people are just corrupted, all right, and they ain't never gonna change, all right. And people say, well, can't everybody be saved? And didn't God love everybody? Well, there's something called predestination. That's a controversial topic, but you gotta understand, God chooses some people for His kingdom, and some aren't, all right. And some people ain't never gonna change. So be aware that some people ain't gonna change, and don't be trying to change them, because you end up getting yourself caught up. It says, every sensible person acts acknowledgeably, but a fool displays his stupidity. A wicked envoy falls in trouble, but a trustworthy courier brings healing. All right. It says, accurate news and effective diplomacy benefit the efficient in communities served by a good character. So, you know, I mean, we talk about the presidency. We talk about, you know, now obviously we know that no one in the presidency really has control, but we talk a lot about fake news, all right, and diplomacy, all right. And, you know, all these lies and games that's going on from a political standpoint only hurt the people. See what I mean? And especially the people who don't really realize that the Republican and Democrats are all part of one game. It's two wings of the same bird. And it's a filthy, abominable bird. All right, that this country is founded on. And if you pick a side, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, whatever, separate whatever ism that they promote, you are picked the side of a dirty bird. All right. All right. So looks like it's got a couple of more seconds. So verse 20, it says, the one who walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools, all right, will suffer them harm. All right, keep hanging around with fools. All right, watch how your life ends up jacked up. Stop hanging around with people that live in evil and think that I don't live like them or whatever. It's going to affect you. You can't get away around it. It says, disaster pursues sinners, but good rewards the righteous. A good man leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. All right. Well, hey, listen, man, all these folks who think they're getting by, having all this money and all this wealth, it's going to be overturned, and the righteous are going to inherit those things that they got by ill-gotten means. It says, the uncultivated field of the poor yields abundant food. Without justice, it's swept away. All right, talks about this capitalist system that we live in. It says, the one who will not use the rod hates his son, but the one who loves him disciplines him diligently. A righteous person eats until he's satisfied, but the stomach of the wicked are empty. You do the right thing, you get the right thing. All right, so that was Proverbs 13. Thanks for joining us. If you don't know Yeshua as your personal Savior and you want to be part of the kingdom of heaven, all you got to do is admit to God that you're living the wrong life. All right, that was Proverbs 13. Please subscribe to our channel by hitting the subscribe button at the bottom. All right. We're trying to grow this Ministries, a video page, trying to give you better content. If you feel that God has led you to donate or to bless this ministry with a financial gift, we're not asking. We're not that type of place where we're asking for money or anything like that. But God has put in your heart to help us kind of grow, get some better equipment, better editing software, things like that. I'll leave my information in the description. Any prayer requests or you want to talk more or learn more about the kingdom of God, I'll be glad to talk to you and go over some verses with you or pray for you and pray with you. So the contact information will be left in the description box. All right, God bless y'all. Love y'all. Peace.